I'm Nadine Renazile. I am an artist based in New York City. My painting is based on inquiry. I paint because I'm documenting my daily experiences. I'm documenting things that I'm reading, things that I'm experiencing throughout my world. I use a lot of texture. I don't use paintbrushes. I use palette knives, construction tools, tiling tools. I start with layers of paint. It doesn't really matter the color. I may decide that a painting is going to be black and white, but under that there may be five, six layers of different colors because it adds heft to the painting. It adds texture. It adds a certain element of mystery when you can see there's something behind that the top color, right? The surface. I use a lot of text in my painting. I tend to write a lot of the stuff that I'm researching as I'm painting. Mostly the text is not revealed in the final stage of the painting because I actually don't want people to know my innermost thoughts. I don't like my paintings to be pretty. And if it starts looking too pretty, I'll put some hard lines in there, straight lines, just to shore it up, to bring it back to a level of seriousness, I suppose, or just to give it a kind of weight. I was lucky enough to be invited to have a solo show at IDBSA in Washington, D.C. I had just started developing these portraits of working with female figures, 12 by 12 on panel. And as I worked on that series, I started thinking about the women I knew, all the Black women I knew. These women were highly capable, they were regal, they had strong sense of selves, they they had a certain sureness about their own worth. They themselves were forging ahead, they were forging their own path, they were sure about their own way, and I had to paint them in a way to depict that sense, that strong sense of self. Then I started working on these very small postcards, 4 by 6, as a way to document the daily news stories about police brutality. I studied a couple. At some point, I looked up and there was the template, and I grabbed the template and I sort of traced a couple of the shapes from there, and something clicked. So I've been using the same shapes over and over again to replicate the idea that police videos of, when the police are murdering these black victims, it's the same stories over and over and over again, different states, different cities, different situations. And the template, I think, has a way to clearly identify this phenomenon, you know, same black body in a black bag, same sort of nonchalant police officer standing, looking, showing complete indifference. They had started to inform the larger work that I was developing, and realizing, because I couldn't figure out how to bring the shapes that I was so used to doing, which is the sort of the mainstay of the body of work that I'd been doing. Um, I When I started using the templates and to bring them into the larger works, everything sort of clicked. Everything kind of got resolved in a way, because I was able to figure out a way to tell the stories, the multiple stories of police brutality, and sort of marry the shapes, the templates, and these brutal stories together. One of the ways that I'm trying to figure out it through my painting is, how do I live in this society and continue to be whole? I think the painting is helping me to resolve that question. It is the inquiry. I think that's going to keep the work going as I move forward.